This week, the ECI, or Employment Cost Index for Q3, was released, and it showed that employment costs for businesses are still increasing at a rate of 4.3%. The index measures the changes in labor costs, including wages or salaries and benefits. The index does not include the costs of workers moving from job to job. As the graph shows, the ECI significantly increased during the pandemic, but has moderated lately. I think it will continue to moderate, although I don't think the ECI will come down to other cyclical lows like during and after the Great Recession. But even with this moderation in the ECI, labor costs are still well above the Fed target's range of about 3 to 3.5% year over year, as the next chart shows. There are two important considerations here: the demographic reality of retiring baby boomers and fewer working age people, as well as the skills gap, ensure that employment costs will only slowly moderate, which translates to some degree of wage-related inflation. Another consideration is the high cost of employee turnover. Remember, the ECI does not include the costs of workers moving from job to job, either voluntarily or involuntarily, and those costs are astronomical. Estimates vary by industry and worker skill level, but most studies cite a turnover cost of 50 to 200% of a person's salary. A 2016 Deloitte study found that the average cost of a departing employee was on average $121,000 due to the high cost of hiring a new employee and lost productivity. There are advertising and sometimes recruiter costs, HR costs, management time for interviews, drug and background checks, costs for remaining employees who fill in for departing colleagues, training costs, lower morale, lost customers, etc. With a turnover rate of 20% for a firm with 50 employees, the annual cost of turnover would be $1.5 million in 2023 dollars. A 2019 Gallup study estimated that employee turnover cost U.S. businesses $1 trillion. Having a horizontal, equitable culture that elevates and empowers all employees goes a long way in keeping good workers. The Gallup study also states that half of exiting employees say no management or other leadership asked them about their work environment or job satisfaction, and that their manager or organization could have done something to prevent the exit. The good news is that turnover has come down from pandemic peaks, but it's important to keep in mind the high costs of turnover that are on top of increasing compensation for existing employees.